I spent this whole week outlining my novel. I would wake up every single morning and just get to writing. That was the first thing I did every day this week, and I just kind of wanted to document that process and my thoughts and little clips here and there. So here it is. Good morning. So I'm gonna start plotting today. Well, I've sort of already started. I started basically the day after my birthday, so end of May, and I don't know when this video is gonna go up, but so what I did first is I sat down outside for about 2.5 hours and I just wrote. I wrote, just not really brainstorm, but I was just like getting everything out, all of the idea that I've been having in my head for the past for a while, for the past couple of years. I just never knew how to sort of voice it. And then I was here's the thing, I think I should probably start from the beginning, but I've had this idea for a while. In previous attempts at writing this story, I've felt like I needed to change it too much in order to sort of kind of mask what I'm trying to talk about. But because I was trying to do that, I was having a lot of trouble outlining it and figuring out what's going to happen, because I was so scared of the original idea I had. I don't want to go too into it, but yeah, for some reason I just felt like I was not allowed to write like the actual thing that I have in my head. And then I watched this video, I think on my birthday. I was watching this writing video and they were talking about kind of style of writing that a lot of writers do, and I thought, oh, okay, that seems like like an easier option for me to write it that way. And also Andrew and I were talking about writing as well, my writing, and he mentioned something similar, and I was like, maybe it's a sign, maybe I should do it this way. And ever since I've changed my mindset and thought about it that way, I've been able to let the words flow a little bit, which is really nice. I'm watching this video at the moment and they're talking about how your character objective needs to be specific enough. It can't just be, my character wants to be happy, you know, because that's like way too vague and it's not a tangible thing that they want. And so I need to figure that out, because I think my issue right now is I know what the end goal is going to be for my character. I know what she's gonna end up, it's a female by the way, but I know what my main character is going to end up with at the end of the story, and what they are going to be happy with. But in the beginning of the story, you're supposed to, the character is supposed to not realize that that is what they want, and in fact they are supposed to sort of go after something else, and that's where the struggle is because they're operating on a goal that is based on a misbelief. That's how a lot of stories go, right? For example, the movie Tangled, right? Rapunzel is really wanting to see these floating lights in the beginning of the movie, and she so desperately wants to see what they are, and she thinks that she has a personal connection to them, but she doesn't know why. And then she goes through obstacles. She meets Flynn, who helps her, and then it turns out, and then she learns throughout the movie that her mum, who she knows as her mother this whole time for her whole entire life, is not actually her mum. And at the end of the movie, she finds her real parents, and that's what she ends up being happy with. She still sees the lights, but she's more happy with the fact that she is out of that tower and is able to meet her actual real parents. So that's kind of like, I know what my main character is gonna actually be happy with. I just need to come up with what her, I know what her misbelief is in like a vague way. I just need to figure it out like in like a tangible way, I think. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna plot this story, to be honest, because I'm a little bit scared of outlining. I tried outlining in the past. I followed this book. I have it. Let me go get it for you. So I've had this book, The Anatomy of Story by John Truby, for a while. I've done some videos on this. I think I did this video about creating your main character, or creating characters out of enneagram types, because I think enneagram types is a really good way to create character, because enneagram is a personality test, or a personality category, like way of categorizing a personality through fear, desire, and like motivation. So those are like three great things when you want to think about, you know, a protagonist in a story. So I talked about that, and this book actually sort of got me thinking about that. I've gone through it a couple of times. I've never like actually finished it, so you can see all my tabs and everything. But it's just really hard to read because the text is a little bit small, and you know, my eyesight and everything like that. But I haven't been able to find it on audio, so I don't know if I want to follow this for this particular story, because I do also have Save the Cat writes a novel, and so I haven't been able to follow this yet because I've been a little bit too scared, and I do have this on audio, so I don't know how much I'm going to outline, but I'm gonna try and not so much outline, but plan as much as I can before I start writing. I don't know, because I don't know. I've tried pantsing in the past and just writing without any plan, and that hasn't been very successful for me. I've tried outlining, like fully outlining, and that also hasn't really been too successful for me. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a bit of both. I'm gonna plan a little bit, and then once I feel like I have enough, I'll start writing. But I guess that's why I'm having two notebooks. So this is gonna be my planning notebook, and then these notebooks that Ashley got me, they're like really small and really thin. These are gonna be my my actual manuscript notebook. So that's my plan. I'm gonna figure out my my character's misbelief in a more succinct and tangible way, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've written for a couple of hours now. I think it's like 11:30. I've written a couple of pages. I've worked on my character's misbelief and sort of their objective, their false objective. And I also worked on a little bit of their backstory. So kind of like what made the character believe this misbelief that they have. And I've decided to sort of make it a little bit of a slow burn misbelief that solidifies in their life, just because it is a little bit more of a internal journey rather than an external journey. I mean, there will still be some external stuff as well, but a lot of it is just in the main character's like brain. So that's kind of how I'm choosing to do it, because I feel like with the story I'm writing, it feels more realistic for it to be this kind of trickle down effect instead of it being like one big trauma that the character went through. I'm writing a lot, like it's I feel like it's flowing out of me, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm also gonna work a little bit on kind of more bits and pieces of like moments where they could have stepped out of their misbelief into the truth, I guess, but they didn't, because it takes a couple of tries for them to actually change their way of thinking. Oh, I just realized I made tea and I completely forgot about it. And now it's cold. I just wanted to come on here to say that I think I have figured out the external plot of my story, and this is something that I have been struggling with for a really long time. I think this is like the main reason why I give up on my stories, is because I always have a character internal plot that I want the main character to go through, but I don't know how to weave that into an actual tangible external plot. And I think I figured it out. And I'm so excited. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. This is gonna work. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's all I'm gonna that's all I can do right now. I might read the, or like not read, but I might listen to the Save the Cat Writes a Novel book and see if I want to follow the steps to be able to outline that, because like I said, the plot part is usually what I struggle with, and mostly the inciting incident, but I think I figured out the inciting incident, and I'm not sure where that's supposed to go in plot. I think it's supposed to be like just before the second act. So yeah, it makes me kind of want to roughly outline, just so I know what scenes to write in what order for right now. I don't know, but at the same time, like, I'm excited to just write, but I'm worried that if I do that, I'll get stuck because I haven't really outlined. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Good morning. So I've just made some coffee, I'm having breakfast, and I've got my notebook in front of me so I can work a little bit more on the inciting incident, because I was thinking last night, I like the idea that I had yesterday about what is going to happen in order to push the main character forward, but I think logistically it might not work, just because of other reasons that I'm gonna already have in the book that's just like been on my mind. So I'm trying to sort of tweak it a little bit. It's still gonna have the same result. I just need to pick a different way of it. Basically, this won't reveal too much, but the inciting incident that I was originally going to make is to make the main character go on a little trip somewhere, but I think that might not work because of the money aspect. I think it wouldn't make any sense if the main character was able to go on this trip, basically. So I need to pick a different location that is closer to where the main character lives, and I guess it can't also be a holiday. It has to be something that, it's not really a holiday, it's like something that the main character is trying to use as an escape, I guess. So she needs somewhere to escape to in the inciting incident, and that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out. Once I figure that out, then I can go ahead and do what I wanted to do and have something happen in that location to push the character forward. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm gonna be working on right now. So I've been editing that outlining vlog, and I lost a couple of clips towards the end of the week, which is annoying because it was around the same time as me starting to follow the outlining beat sheet in Save the Cat Writes a Novel. So I'll recap what I think the last clip you would have seen is me figuring out the inciting incident. Since then, I think I said that I wanted to change that inciting incident. I ended up changing it, but what I didn't realize when I was reading the Save the Cat manual is that what I was trying to change wasn't really the inciting incident, it was really the opening scene. So I have since worked on the opening scene, and then I worked on the theme stated. So I worked on the theme stated part, and then after that I worked on the setup. Now the setup was where I did a lot of work. As you can see, I started writing, and then I wanted to add more, so then I wrote in the margins, and then I needed more space and I got sticky tabs. So I worked on the setup, and then after that I worked on the catalyst. Now this part I struggled with as well, because I think I mentioned it in the lost clips that I wasn't sure if I wanted the catalyst to be to have something to do with her health or her like, not life, but like career type thing. I don't want to go too into it, but I ended up going with not the health, because the health is going to be something that is an underlying thing in my main character's life, so it's not really, it is a big deal, but it's not the external big deal, if that makes sense. So I had to go back and forth with the catalyst a couple of times, but I think I figured it out. And then the next day I started working on the debate, and that was sort of a struggle. That was yeah, that took me a couple of tries to figure out what the debate was going to be, because the debate is sort of the beginning of what's going to happen in Act 2. So yeah, I think I covered everything. I'm really annoyed that I lost those clips, because I think I had a lot of aha moments, like a lot of epiphany moments when it comes to working on the beat sheet through this book, and I'm sold on this book now. I'm not scared of it anymore, and I really like it. I think it really helps me structure my story better. Anyway, back to previous me. Okay, so I've decided on something. I am up to the debate part of the story beats, because I'm following the Save the Cat Writes a Novel beat sheet, and I have decided to stop the outlining there for now at least, and move on to my fresh notebook where I'm going to write the actual story, and I'm gonna actually work on Act 1 now that I have it all sort of outlined. I've realized that although I'm not a complete pantser, I don't think I have been very successful in completely pantsing my story. I'm also not very good at rigid outlines. And what I realized about this beat sheet is that I can be as loose with my outline, or as detailed as I want to be, which is really nice. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just work on the first act, work on a draft of the first act before going back and outlining the second act, because one, I'm feeling a little bit scared of outlining the second act. I kind of have the gist of what I want to happen, but the idea of outlining it is freaking me out a little bit. So I think instead of forcing myself to work on that outline, which is not going to be very fun if I'm not really, you know, in the mood for it yet, I'm gonna work on something that I am looking forward to, and that's drafting the first act. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if it'll help me or if it will be not a great thing for me to do. We'll see. But yeah, I thought I would end the vlog there. I don't really, like, I want to document my process, but I don't want to say too much about my project. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to share and what I don't want to share. So like, even though this week I did write every single day, I didn't film every single day, just because you don't need to see clips of me writing for like 2 or 3 hours, you know. Yeah, I think moving forward I'm just going to update when I have updates. Does that make sense? Anyway, yeah, so if you enjoyed this kind of little writing vlog that I've done, please give it a like, and if you want to follow my journey, please subscribe. And if you have any thoughts on this whole writing process in general, please comment down below. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Cheers!